Welcome in. My name's Ryan. I'll be your pilot. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Boys and girls, we're talking a little Zach Wilson news, as if we haven't had enough of that over the course of the entire week. We've got something coming from a BYU paper saying that the New York Jets have agreed to mutually part ways with Zach Wilson following the season, meaning they're going to trade him. The report is coming from Desert News Sports. I guess this is a Utah-based paper, from my understanding. And Desert Doug, I guess, was the guy that broke the news here. So if you're wondering who Desert Doug is, well, it's this guy. 124 followers. Dude, look, I'm not one to, like, poo-poo on people, but, like, I don't know. I don't buy this for a minute. I don't think the Jets... no, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that I don't buy this for a minute. I don't think this guy's got any actual sources. I don't think, like, maybe this is some sort of friend out in Utah that, like, you know, maybe is saying something like, oh, I know Zach Wilson. We went to, you know, high school together. We had chemistry at some point, and, like, he said something to me. That's what this feels like. This doesn't feel like there's any legitimate sources that Zach Wilson is going to be traded. The New York Jets wouldn't do that. That's, like, not, at least from, like, a strategic standpoint. You don't go out and say you're going to trade him, because then you're not going to get anything in return. But given the way that this whole season has kind of played out, you could, you know, put the pieces together and say Zach Wilson is not long for New York. Now, the Jets have 5 games remaining, and Zach is going to be their starter probably for all 5 of them. Now, I do think that there's a shot Zach Wilson comes back next year. The Jets owe him $11 million. Part of that is a signing bonus. If they trade him, they save about $5 million, $5.5 million or something along those lines. So if you could get something in a trade for Zach Wilson, you'd at least save that $5 million in guaranteed salary coming for next year. But then you have to say, all right, well, what has Zach Wilson done to deserve a trade? Like, what team is going to be giving up assets for him? The article mentions the Broncos, the Vikings, and the Rams as 3 potential teams. I don't see Mike LaFleur in LA loving Zach Wilson, having him again. He's the quarterback coach out there. I don't see the Jets trading him to the Broncos, who just had a, you know, the season between the Sean Payton and Nathaniel Hackett and all the drama going there. I don't see that being viable. They mentioned the Vikings. The Vikings seem like that could make some sense for sure, because they have Kirk Cousins on an expiring contract. They do have Dobbs right now, who is he a free agent, or has he got one more year left? But they could, you know, in theory, use a young kid that they might deem has a really high upside. I don't think this has any legs to it right now. I think there's a really good shot. If Zach balls out, the Jets just may hold on to him as quarterback 3. I don't think he's going to come in as quarterback 2 next year. And I know that may sound like a Zach truther kind of thing, but if Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas are on the hot seat and they have already drafted their number 2 overall quarterback, unless the locker room, like between the locker room and Robert Saleh and Zach Wilson, if there is as big of a rift as there was kind of made out to be this past week, then yeah, sure. I think he's probably gone from here. What could you get for him in a trade? Trey Lance was traded for a 4th-round pick. I don't think Zach Wilson is worth I don't think the Jets will get a 4th-round pick for Zach Wilson. Put it that way. I think the mystery around Trey Lance, because of his injuries, created a more enticing situation than 31 starts from Zach Wilson would garner, because he has, like, abysmal stats. I think he's got 21 touchdowns over the course of 3 years, which is awful considering Sam Darnold in 2019 had 19 touchdowns. Like, man, this is rough. I wish Zach the best. I want to get the most possible out of him. And ultimately, I just want this whole drama thing to be over. I want to be able to move past it, whether Zach's on the team or not. I just don't want to deal with, like, the constant up and down roller coaster of, like, will the offense have any points today? Will we score 3 points from our special teams? Do we have to worry about our defense, like, getting a score? Like, I don't know. I'm not real thrilled with how everything's going on. I don't think this is a huge story. And when it's ever sources, I never really fully buy into it. So who knows? Let me know in the comment section down below. Zach Wilson getting traded? Is he getting cut? Is he going to be on the team next year? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, go Jets.